Hi, this is Bill Wood with Disciplined Trading Decisions. Time for the weekend update for the crude oil futures market. But first, trading futures, options on futures, and retail off-exchange foreign currency transactions involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Welcome to the weekend update for September 6, 2016. Remember that we have Labor Day off, 3-day weekend. We're covering the crude oil futures market, so let's take a look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart, you can see that we are in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. Closer look at the market, we are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-month balance. This bar here has high volume and it left excess at the top, met up with this trend line here and then reversed, so that's pretty weak. On the weekly, speaking of weak, all right, we showed this this Andrews pitchfork. It reversed right at the pitchfork and started moving immediately higher. So what do we have here? Is this an ABC correction? A, B, C, or thing I'm questioning now is, are we on an ABC correction down? So A, B, C, maybe down here somewhere. But if we are on an ABC correction, the 100% move would be up to here, around 64.83. But looks like we're a little extended at this point. So we were one time framing higher on the weekly. We stopped. We were in a 2-week balance, and this week we stopped one time framing higher. Again, that is weak. Well, wondering how far this could pull back. This Andrews pitchfork comes into play. We stopped short of that, so looks like we were pretty extended on the downside. So is this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe down to this high volume node here? So we were one time framing lower, 1, 2, 3. We stopped one time framing on this day. We could pull back to this high volume node here or test the bottom of this trading range here. Either one is feasible. What we'll be looking for on this stochastic is, do we get a reversal like this, or will it be something more like this where it's kind of stretched out, which would mean, lower prices. So today we gapped higher, could not make it down to the point of control, so it was likely to head higher. It did head higher. It broke yesterday's high, filled in the gap, and it was very comfortable there. Its point of control was right up here at yesterday's high. Now, can we continue higher? We certainly can. These single prints here, oftentimes the market will want to fill those in. If it cannot fill these in, then the market is weak. But there's not much structure here to hold the market down, that if we could get up into this area, 44.80, 90 area, that it would be likely that they're going to be running for 45.80. So 44.80 to 45.80. If we get up here, the market may want to run up there. We have another gap up here and more single prints, but that's a long way off. I think the most likely scenario is that we make a test. If we're going to continue higher, that we make a test of the low. That hasn't really happened yet. So I don't know that it'll happen on Monday or on Tuesday, but this does kind of look like it's rolling over. If it does test down, of course, we're going to be looking for Monday's low, 74, 43, 74. But I'm also looking at this high volume node down here. It's around 43.60. And you also have a median line down here that, depending on how quickly it can get down there, there's also another volume node down here. So, so it could be off of this line here, A, could be off of this line here, B, that would be around 42.50. So we said 42.60 to 42.50. Now, interestingly enough, we do have a pretty decent channel here. Let's point the mid of our channel right here off of this point here, and it takes us right to the low. So I'm going to be looking at lines off of this angle. And so this is one of the lines right here that I'm going to be looking off of that angle, and that comes off the top of this bar here. So if we do head higher, either first or after a pullback, it's much more dangerous after a pullback. If we head up here first, it's more likely to be resistance. We have several things happening up here. We have this trend line here, which is a pretty good trend line. This is the opposite. This is the mid trend line here. We have another trend line here. We have low volume node, high volume node, low volume node. We were talking about this not giving much resistance. So if and when the market heads up here, it's going to have a battle. It looks like it's going to have a battle in here. So once we battle in this area, that is, if it does go up, we have this major high. We have these trend lines interacting here. Have a supply zone here. We have low volume nodes up here. If we can break above here, then I believe that the likelihood of there being much resistance between here and 45.80, that there wouldn't be that much resistance. You can see the large bar here, that there's no structure there. There's nothing to hold the market there. So that should be interesting to see. Again, on Monday or Tuesday, if we pull back, down to this level, 43.70, 60, we have this trend here that we can be watching. Okay, and finally, this was pretty much an exact 200% move of this first wave. So if this was a wave 1, wave 2, whether this is 3, 4, 5, or if this whole move is just a 3 and we're pulling back 4 and then coming up here 4, 5, I'm not sure. But my suspicion is that on Monday that it may open lower. It may open down here first. So if not, and it heads lower first, that could be our first reaction. Or that. We also talked about 50 being a level, so I'm just going to leave that there. And we have this trend line here. We might run into some trouble up in this area again, but I'm looking for a test of the high. This is the point of control here. Could pull back to the point of control and go further from there. So it all depends on where it opens up. If it, gaps up here, then I think we're off to the races. We could be off to the races. If we gap below today's range, then we could be, going to the downside. If we open right up in this area here, the 4440 area, it may just get comfortable here. May just get comfortable in this area and balance for a while. Create a high volume node in here and then take off. Either way, north or south. So generally, I like to have some levels and then go on a closer time frame and see if there's anything that's confirming these levels, or even if it slows down at these levels. So that may look like crazy talk, but that's what I'm sticking it for right now. And remember to trade according to your plan. So this is Bill Wood, and if you're watching this anywhere other than my blog at disciplinedtradingdecisions.com, please go there now and check out our other resources. And while you're there, sign up for our weekly newsletter. I appreciate your likes, your comments, and your shares. It all helps to get the word out. And remember, stay motivated, stay focused, and stay disciplined, my friend.